Okay, we're rocking here. Now this is the fourth or fifth video today. I think the fourth one, the last one. And what you see before you here is a macro community design made up. It's an H7 model, and it's made up of the 16-acre micro center or micro community. Keep me getting those things mixed up. And a 16-acre micro community design. So you got 7 here. It'd be the same as the other concept without the green around the borders. I think the other one was uh, 64 acres. Yeah, if you take away the borders, you get 64 acres. So this would be a full-fledged micro community. Each one's independent, but yet you're working together as a whole. And the big thing about all of this stuff is the roads. Get the roads to work. They might work independently. It doesn't say they're going to work collectively as a model. So 144 acres, that's about a quarter section of land. That's quite a bit of area. So each one of these are, 16 acres. You can all plot it together. And so I just copied and size reduced and stuck these together. Well, if you're going to have a main entrance, you would be pointed north, orientated north. You can come into here, into the center. So the road here would take you into the center. And from the center to here, you could have traffic circles. You don't need to have traffic circles. But anyway, you come into the center, but now give you access to all 6 micro communities. And so the outer access is limited to 3. You got access here, you got access here, access here. This might be your only main access. And these here might be access points to so you can get your equipment to your fields and stuff like that. But the main thing is that there's no access points directly from the outside that you have to come through. And you do have your checkpoints. You do have a 360-degree hands-on security. No one's going to get near this place without anybody else knowing. So you come into the center. If you came here, then you would go around. From here you'd have access here and here. And you go around, and you have access here and here. And you go around and have access here and here. If you develop something like this in 100 days, it would be possible for if you already say you had the platforms and all that set up, you could actually bring the people in. You need to make your roads first because you could have a lot of traffic, and so you'd have crews that would be established in each quadrant. So the first thing you would do, you establish your center, and you could use your center point as a takeoff to establish your different quadrants over a period of 90 days or 100 days. And but you can't be wasting time just setting up the buildings once they're done. And at the same time you're going to be having crews working to put up the different perimeter fences. I mean, there's lots of work to making roads, cutting the trees down. So like 100 days is not all that big a span, but it would be enough time. What the Lord showed me, if everybody's on the same page, working together, this can be done. And being able to make these platforms in advance, there is an advantage. Because just to come out and park your motorhomes and all that on a piece of property and expect to build something like this in short term, you're not going to do it. It's just not going to be possible. There's going to have to be some advanced preparation. So this is I'm going to show you so you get an idea here. This is the macro community H7, because it's an H7 design, 144 acres, and you'll be able to handle between 1,700 to roughly about 2,400 people. So if you had to get one of these built in a hurry, you could do it, but you could use a smaller H3 designs, 36-acre designs that don't have the surrounding area. You could set up. If you had 3 of those set up, you could turn one of these out pretty fast. So you could have your temporary work camp set up to turn out your more permanent camps, and everybody be happy. Everyone will know what they're supposed to do. And when you're setting up your camps, the young people that be coming in on this next move that God's about to bring in when He pours out His fire, they're going to be participating in all of this and living in a community. There's nothing like it. It will be living on earth and walking in heavenly places in this earth, because we will have a assistance and ministry, from the angels in heaven, from the saints in heaven. These would be places where when the kids go to school, one day the Lord might come teach, another day, maybe some of the apostles will come teach, and so on and so on. And this is going to happen. It's been happening in the lives of some of the teachers, ministers, like Neville Johnson and Sadhu Sundar Silveraj and Bobby Connor and others, that they get these visitations. This is going to become not for a few. It's going to be for the majority. And okay, one more thing to show you. This whole orange is more than 144 acres, but so your 144 acres would be inside this plot here. And you could add the berm. If you did add the berm, I haven't figured that out yet, because your berm is 100, something like this. I forget how many feet that would be. But you would take this here times 16. So if you took, how can you figure that out? Okay, take 6 triangles to make one of these. So you would take, maybe it is 144 hours. Hang on. Let me recalculate. You got 16 acres times 9 is 144, so 16. It's going to be 16 times 16. 16 times 16. Okay, that makes sense. So here you would have about 256 acres inclusively. So I think on 1 square mile you have 640 divided by 256. Yeah, I could easily, probably take up about maybe just under a third of a, what do you call it, 640 acres of a square mile. And I remember David Terrell saying that he saw these mother communities in the States during the end times. And this would be like a drop in the bucket in comparison. He saw areas that were 40 miles by 70 miles. They had many places of refuge on it. So you're going to have entire land areas that God's going to dominate and take back. And the powers to be there, it's going to be off limits to them. And God has ways of keeping them away. And God is going to preserve a people. There's going to be over 1 billion people that's going to give their lives. But there's going to be a people alive when the Lord Jesus returns to gather His people right at the end then. And then God will pour out His wrath. But we will be here during the judgment unto correction. And judgment, there is a difference between judgment and wrath. And people need to understand that. And we will be here during the time of the great tribulation, not at the final end when the wrath, when God just lays low every city on earth. And okay, that's it. This ends this series on what you can do with the relocation platforms and these 16-acre micro community concepts. And I think this is what I'm going to use as a mainstay in the book the Lord told me to write, Cities of Light, Places of Refuge. This information will be in it, and you'll be able to follow it. I don't know how to get these maps and all that to fit in the book. We'll have to really simplify them, but from that, from the book, you'll actually be making the engineered drawings, and we'll have to get some kind of software program that's going to be able to handle it, because when I print them out, they're going to have to, I need to find detail for making the poster size drawing, so maybe Corel or something like that. Okay, this is Joshua Taylor coming to you with another Exodus 2 report from here in Edmonton, Canada, and it's the 13th already, I think. Yeah, Tuesday, January 13th, 6 p.m. Time to close her down.